Welcome to New Life Live, the premier place to receive free advice from Christian psychologists and counselors for the mental, emotional, relational, and spiritual challenges you face. Since 1988, we've offered compassionate responses that combine God's truth with proven psychological principles to guide you toward healing. Our phone lines are open. Call us now at 1-800-229-3000.
So glad you found us today. We are New Life Live. Brian Perez is my name, anticipating your phone calls for the next 2 hours at 1-800-229-3000. The sooner you call in, the better of a chance you'll get on. In fact, Susan is already on the line, so we'll get to you first when we start in just a little bit. If you have a question that you can't ask anywhere else, that's why we are here. We are live and ready to talk. No judgment, just practical help. Call us before the phone lines fill up. 1-800-229-3000 is our number, and here to give you that good advice, we've got licensed marriage and family therapist Dr. Jacqui Mack. Hope to have you at my webinar tomorrow. Harris, how are you, Jacqui?
Yes, I am well.
And we've also got clinical psychologist Dr. Alice Benton, who's going to start us off with a conversation on...
Well, did you just ask Philip to call in?
I did. All the Philips in the world are going to call in before the phone lines fill up.
Good jokes this morning.
So, as Brian is kicking us off here, fired up, I want to share with you something that can be poison ivy to relationship. And it is the way we respond when someone tells us that we hurt them. So if you've ever responded this way, and most of us have, take notice. Oh, I was just joking. You're so sensitive. You're so dramatic. I didn't mean to hurt you. Well, I'm sorry if that hurt you. There are reasons why, legitimate reasons, why we respond in these ways. And often our motivation wasn't harmful or evil in how we treated someone. But if that's the posture we take when we respond, it comes across as defensive, it comes across on the offense, and it adds even more hurt to the relationship. And so if you want your words to be life-giving, consider these phrases instead. What I said hurt you. My tone was too intense. Your feelings matter. I can understand that my approach stung. I was wrong. You were right. Now, I've worked with many couples, and I'm sure Jacqui has too, where the more intense spouse came from an even more intense background, often highly abusive, sometimes substance use involved. And so their level of intensity to them is much lower than what they grew up with. In fact, they might feel like they're treating their spouse with kid gloves because they're not laying a hand on them. But what we need to learn is that if we want to safeguard relationship, especially the marital relationship and the parent-child relationship, our words matter. They have deep, lasting, even lifelong effect. And so we can help you to figure out what wording are you using that's like poison ivy to your family, and how do you get that back on track so that it becomes life-giving wording.
Jacqui?
I love that. I love the idea of inviting people to take responsibility for what they say. Because so often we say what we want to say, and we might say, well, I'm just keeping it 100, or I'm just being real, or I'm being honest. Truth hurts. Not thinking about the fact that you could have been honest and kind. You could have shown grace and said the truth.
Yeah.
So, I love that, Alice.
Proverbs 4:23 tells us to guard our heart, for it's the wellspring of life. And I also think we're charged to guard the hearts of our spouse and our children, because it's the wellspring of life.
Keeping it real. Yeah, that's something that doesn't always work. I mean, we want to be truthful, but at the same time, we've got to show tact. We've got to just be a little more pleasant. And it's not easy, because depending on how long you've been on planet Earth, you may have decades of usage of these poison ivy words, and no, it's time to change things up a little bit, and we can help you here at New Life Live. We're going to be in the studio for 2 hours today. Can't wait to speak with you. 1-800-229-3000 is the number to call. If you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, you can call in too. The number's right there at the bottom of your screen. We'll be back.
I went to Every Man's Battle in 2012. My sexual integrity was not what it should have been. I sought out affairs, whether physical or emotional. Until I came to Every Man's Battle, I didn't understand that would never fill that void.
Every day, men struggle with sexual integrity. Impure thoughts, strip clubs, affairs, pornography.
The shame and guilt was overwhelming.
For over 20 years, New Life Ministries has been helping men regain their integrity through their one-of-a-kind Every Man's Battle Intensive.
You will discover what the true root of your pain is, and you will discover how to overcome.
You don't have to struggle any longer. Get help in Orange County, California, January 23rd through the 25th. Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE to register or to find out more. 1-800-639-5433 or online at newlife.com. Enter the code NLL for a discount.
Every Man's Battle saved my life.
1-800-NEW-LIFE and the discount code NLL. To find out more information about New Life or to order any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Now back to New Life Live.
If you're looking to start or join a life recovery group in the new year, visit newlife.com for all the information you need and for recovery-related articles and products. And we're going to go right to the phones right now with Susan in San Francisco, as promised, listening on newlife.com. Thank you, Susan, for listening online and for calling in today to 1-800-229-3000. How can we help you?
Hi, good afternoon. I'm really glad that I got connected. Thank you so much for doing all that you do. I'll be quick. I'm coming from a different country. My husband is in military, and because we met there, and we didn't really date each other. We didn't really, but we have been talking to each other, but not really date. But he thought and according to my culture, I'm supposed to get arranged marriage with and I was okay because I was going through a heartbreak and all. So I thought, okay, he wanted me, so he just proposed me and we got married. And that's why I came here to U.S. Mm-hmm. And then when we got the marriage done and everything, then he started feeling like depressed, and he's like, oh, we rushed into the marriage, I feel trapped. That's what he would tell me. And I really didn't get a husband, but I was trying to support him because I really understand it's an American culture to date first and then get married. But I'm okay with getting married too first and then knowing each other. So I was trying that with him, like we can be friends. We don't have to be husband and wife in the beginning. We can start knowing each other. I tried all my way to support him, but it didn't work out. And then he started saying about the separation because he said I need my time. I need to think about. And I still wanted to talk about let's go to the therapy, let's go to the counseling and do stuff. Because we really didn't do any activities together either. He doesn't talk to me anything. Instead, he will call his friends and discuss about his feelings, and there was another couple, so that was friends with him. So he will call the friend that was like the wife of another friend, and I don't have any problem because I really don't think, because they were friends for 5 more years before me. So I don't have mind. I'm like, at least he's talking to somebody. He's
so what's your main question for us, Susan?
Okay. So the thing is that we got separated after 4 years with no connection. So all these things made me think that he doesn't want all the relationship and all. So I got separated. I'm living separate in a different house, different place. And then I started seeing somebody else. Although I did not want it to because I feel guilty that I'm still married and not fully divorced, but I'm separated. And I started seeing somebody. But then when he comes to know about it, he's angry. And he's blaming me that why you do that. And before even going for the separation, I told him that it's not okay. We didn't even try ourselves first before going for the separation. So it doesn't make sense to me. But I was rejected so many times. So I really had an idea that it's not going to work out. And I was feeling lonely in this country. I'm all alone.
Yeah.
So I started going out, making friends, and I started liking somebody. And now he's against it. He's like, he's blaming me that I do all the bad stuff, and I do this and I do that, and I don't live without him.
Susan, is your husband from another country as well? Is he from America?
No, he's from America.
So I just want to make sure that we understand. So you were living in a different country, and
Correct.
in that country, arranged marriages are common, and so you were fine with that.
Yeah.
The two of you were introduced somehow, and you came over and married him. And then once you got here, he's
in military.
He's in the military, so he was traveling. So he
Correct.
was where in your okay. So that's how the two of you got connected. I was trying to figure out, like, how did you guys meet? Was it arranged by parents? Was this a long-term arrangement? And so now is the question, are you at fault? What is the question?
My question, is it really right for me to, am I doing something really that is wrong? And because I feel like I should get divorced from him. And if he wants to come back, I really don't feel like, even though I love him, I really like him. But I don't think so it's a good, because he has a personality of getting separation and running away. And I don't want to go through this again and again every time. But still, I really wanted to work out on my marriage too. But then I started seeing somebody. So where am I wrong? Like, what can I do in a good way so that I don't want to hurt him and also the guy that I'm seeing right now, and not me either.
All right. Dr. Alice.
Susan, I feel great compassion for you, because this sure seems like a setup. Your husband brings you to this country, basically leaves you alone and separates from you. And then yet he gets angry when you find a friendship and companionship with someone else. That must be so confusing to you. They're all mixed messages, mostly telling you, I don't want you, until you're seeing somebody else. And now, what do you think you're doing? You're not supposed to do that. And so you must have felt so confused, betrayed, and probably abandoned by your husband. As to your question of where am I wrong, it depends on what your standards are. Are you a Christian? Are you a believer?
Oh, yes, I am. I've been in the church for my whole life.
And so you know part of the answer to that question, where am I wrong? What do you believe about dating another man when you're married as a Christian?
Yeah, I agree to that. Yeah.
So you know,
it's not okay. That's why I felt guilty about it, even to start with it. So I felt guilty, and I still am feeling guilty about it.
So your guilt is a healthy sign that you know in that way you're out of alignment with God's standard. And he has these standards for us as guardrails to protect us, because we get ourselves into messy situations when we go outside of his will. Your husband already got you into a messy situation with the way he's been so withdrawn and distant and wasn't willing to do the work that you wanted to do. You invited him into therapy. So now you're wondering, well, what do I do? This is another tough answer. You know maybe that there are some biblically allowed, biblically permitted divorces. But there too, God really wants to protect us from the chaos that divorce always causes. Divorce is evil. It just is. It tears apart what is not supposed to be torn apart. Sometimes it's the lesser evil. And so we're permitted to choose divorce in these two specific situations that the Bible lays out. And one is if we've been abandoned by a non-believer, or if there's adultery taking place on your husband's part. And so you'll have to look at those and determine, do these apply? Because if they don't, my belief is that God would be protecting you from worse harm if you chose divorce, if those situations don't apply. And you said, well, I don't want to hurt my husband, and I don't want to hurt the guy I'm dating. Of course not. You're a caring person. You're going to have to pick your pain. Either the pain of living outside God's will, the pain of choosing a divorce, or the pain of disappointing this person that you're dating. Someone is going to hurt. It is inevitable. But the choice that leads us to the best contentedness eventually through the suffering is to choose to follow God's will, because he knows more than we do. He's got the bird's eye view on our situation.
I'm listening to a book right now called The Cur. The Cure. And when you said that, choosing God's will, this image popped into my mind. In the book, he's telling a story about following after God, chasing after God, trying to build relationship with God, and he comes to a fork in the road, and one sign and arrow says pleasing God, the other sign and arrow says trusting God. And he's like, is there a third option? Because this is hard. So he takes the pleasing God route, and then he tells the story of what that is like. And that's the working to be saved. That's the I'm trying really hard. I'm working hard to get closer to God. When all that really does is pull us further away, because we're constantly telling ourselves we're not close to God while we're trying to get closer to him. And eventually he backtracks, takes the mask off, backtracks, and goes into trusting God. And he walks into this room on the trusting God path. And just like he had walked into the room on the other side where everybody was striving and faking and had to put on a mask in order to stay in that group, he walks into this other room and they say, how are you? And first he says, fine, because when he was honest in the other room, everybody was like, no, put this mask on. But in this room, he goes to say, fine, and he's like, I'm tired, I can't do this anymore. And so he just yells out, I'm not fine, I'm not okay, I haven't been okay in a long time. And everybody's like, yeah, neither are we. That's why we trust God, right? So sometimes we make a mess of things because we are trying to fix the problem rather than trusting God. Be honest with yourself, be honest with God. I think, I agree with Dr. Alice, I think you have the answers. I think you know in your heart what needs to happen, but you're going to have to pick your pain. And not only is one of you going to be hurt, multiple of you are probably going to be hurt, because even if you choose to try to save your marriage, there's going to be work that has to be done, and there's going to be some grieving that needs to be done, and so that's going to cause some challenges, and that's going to hurt the guy you're seeing now, maybe. And it might be tough for your husband to do the work. He has some things he might need to work through, and that's going to cause some pain to go into counseling and uncover the things that might be preventing him from connecting with you. So whatever decision you choose, be prepared for pain and trust God in it, because when you get to the other side, you'll be at healing rather than mess.
God's way is usually pain first, reward later, and our way is give me my pleasure first, but I'm going to feel a whole lot of pain in the cost of my pleasure later on.
And we just keep forgetting, we lean into the give me my pleasure and my reward and forget the consequences on the other end instead of flipping it. And so this book, The Cure, I'm just getting into it, but it just, of course, God would bring those two things together for me this morning, because he wants us to know we must trust him with whatever the thing is.
And Susan, don't walk this alone. What we're telling you is too hard to put into practice without a community. And you don't have a community here. So let us connect you with a counselor. Let us connect you with a New Life recovery group in your area.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That would be great. I really need that help. That would be great. And also, I just wanted to mention this thing about the, when I was living with him already in the house, I was in the house but a separate room. We started living in a separate room too, because he was asking for separation. And I, of course, not working here. I'm a new person. I was not working. So I didn't have a place to go to, no people to, no friends, no family to go to either. So I was like, okay, can I just live in a separate room at least? So I started living in a separate room, and then still he didn't wanted that. He was like having a separate house. He wanted a separate thing.
Wow.
Yeah, a counselor can help with that. Now, there are couples who live in separate houses, and but they wanted marriage so that they can be together God's way. There are couples who sleep in separate bedrooms for various reasons, and so those things can be navigated and negotiated, but a good counselor can help you do that. So let us get you connected with some. Thank you so much for calling in, Susan.
Yeah, for sure. And him wanting separate living arrangements, it's not because he's seeing someone too, is it?
That's what I was trying to say. But after that, I did not had any idea, because but then one day he's like, he wants you to go to his parents' house, and he's like, do you want to come to? I'm like, okay, you're inviting me, so I will go to your parents' house. So I went to his parents' house, came back, and then I received an email I have 2 emails. I received the 2 emails asking, the lady is asking me, oh, I heard about your divorce from my husband's name, that you're getting divorced and you went to see his parents. So is it really true that you're getting separated, like divorced?
That certainly,
when I saw that email, I was so surprised. Like, how did she even get my email?
That sounds very suspicious, and it is a concern to investigate further.
Yeah. Susan, thanks for calling in today. Stay on hold. We'll put you in touch with a life recovery group in your area, just a group of people that can come alongside you during this time. We'll also find a counselor from our network that you can be in touch with. We're going to take a quick break, and then we'll be back with more of your phone calls. I see Eva and Anna and Randy all ready to call in and talk to us here at New Life Live. We'll be back.
Here at New Life, we want you to have transformation. And so we have created the New Life courses, and you meet weekly on Zoom with a coach or counselor. You're going to have teaching as well as that group connection, because we know how powerful that is. We hear that all the time about our intensives, that they love the information, but the group process is so powerful. And many of you have been hesitant to participate because you're not sure, the timing, the price. New Life courses are going to meet you right at that area of need. Every week you're meeting on Zoom with that therapist. You're going over the concepts as well as connecting as a group. It is so powerful, and it's accessible. Wherever you are, you're going to be able to join us.
Begin your transformation January 29th with a New Life course. Lose it for life, take your life back, or healing is a choice. Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433 or online at newlife.com. Do you need help for life's hard situations?
My husband recently said he wanted a divorce.
I'm confused on what I should do.
I have an eating disorder.
New Life Live answers your questions on relationships, grief, addiction, trauma, anxiety, and much more, all from a biblical perspective with our panel of professional counselors and psychologists.
I learn a lot from your program.
You help so many people.
I appreciate your ministry.
Whether you listen or watch, there are so many ways to connect with us to ask our panel of counselors a question. Call us Monday through Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific at 1-800-229-3000 to ask your question on New Life Live. Or go to newlife.com/radio for other ways to get your question answered.
I'm trying to find help.
I just want to know how to set boundaries.
If it's a sin, what am I supposed to do?
Need a therapist or a coach, a resource, or an intensive? Call us at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433. 1-800-NEW-LIFE. To find out more information about New Life or to order any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Now back to New Life Live.
If you feel trapped by past pain, toxic relationships, or patterns that won't break, the Take Your Life Back course was designed for you. It's a 12-week online course that's led by a counselor and meets 1 hour per week on Zoom. The Take Your Life Back course will help you break free from what's been holding you down, be it codependency, guilt, regret, unhealthy boundaries, or emotional wounds. You'll rediscover who you are in Christ. It's time to reclaim your future, stop the cycle, and take your life back. Get all the details about this course and 2 others that all start January 29th at newlife.com. And in case you're wondering, the other 2 courses we're offering are called Healing is a Choice and Lose It for Life. 1-800-229-3000, the number to call in today to speak with Dr. Alice Benton and Dr. Jacqui Mack-Harris. And here is Eva in Augusta, Maine. Welcome to New Life Live, Eva.
Hi, thank you. I've got a question. Would it be wrong to send money monthly to a brother who I believe was, codependent with my mom, and she has since passed? He was recently deported to Central America and is very poor, and the money that I would send would go a long way for him. He's totally ungrateful, and I get that he's angry. I want to help. I don't know if this would be helping or hurting.
So it sounds like you felt like he was maybe taking advantage or codependent with mom. you want to honor what mom would want for him and care for him while he's in this difficult situation. Also, he's angry and maybe being rude and disrespectful and feels very ungrateful. And yet there is something in you, some compassion and grace in you that makes you want to send something. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay.
That is correct.
Would
He's
you
totally ungrateful. I mean, just really, really angry. And whenever he calls, it's I want, not please, may I, and never a thank you.
So he's calling and demanding. What is he doing? Is there a way for him to take care of himself there?
No. He was deported to a place he hadn't been to in a long time, and he's having a hard time making a go.
Okay. I don't think it would be wrong. I think it could be helpful, but there is the danger of enabling somebody to continue in their learned helplessness. And so you have to decide, the history, choices he's made over his life, what this anger and the demands are, how he treated your mom. And so you have to decide based on what you're experiencing. I'm wondering if you're maybe feeling like you should help him, but kind of are over it and don't want to continue to help him and maybe feel bad about that, like somehow that's wrong?
I'm looking at it like this. I spend money on coffee and McDonald's and just junk.
Yep.
And so why not deprive myself and just send that to him instead? I can live without the extra.
You can live without coffee? How?
and that is, I think that's lovely. I have people in my family who had a tragedy, and since I can send $25 a week, I do while they're in college. And when they graduate, the $25 a week will stop. But that's my way of trying to just be helpful in this season when I can. And so if that's something you can do and you've thought through how it would affect you, and it sounds like it won't cost you. It's going to be a sacrifice of coffee and maybe some, sugary snacks, but
correct.
It's actually something you'd be giving a gift, and maybe this is a way God wants you to serve right now. I just feel like the relationship, the experience, and there's a part of you that it feels like there's a part of you that feels like he doesn't deserve this, but it's what God is calling me to.
Alice?
Yes.
So I'd have you ask yourself a few questions to evaluate. Will this help benefit him in the long run? And will it help build his character and his ability to be a healthy, independent man as much as he's able to with whatever limitations he's been struggling with? Because the enabling that Jacqui talks about, it's short-term help, but really allowing somebody a certain amount of suffering while providing the support that they need, that leads to better long-term character growth, where they no longer need to depend on a person in an unhealthy way. And so there are a couple of ways to safeguard from enabling. First, you need to stay aware of whether or not you're becoming resentful and bitter because you're helping him like this. If he's staying immature because of the help he's receiving, and if you're becoming avoidant of his phone calls, you don't want to send him the money, it's really hard to make yourself do it, those are all signs that, this is becoming unhealthy giving. I'd also have you consider leveraging the way that you help him, because leverage can motivate people when they struggle with motivation. For instance, you might say, I am willing to send you this amount of money if I hear that you're looking for work, if you can show me some proof of that, if you're getting help, if you're going to church. I need to see you making healthy choices in order for me to be able to come alongside and support you too.
And similar to what Jacqui said, maybe put a time limit on, like what you said with the college, the person you knew in college, that once you graduate, that $25 a week. So maybe let them know, hey, I'll do this for 3 more months, 6 more months, whatever. But I don't know, that might help.
And that's been helpful. It's coming alongside of them and supporting them in a way that I can. They don't work while they're in school, but they get really good grades and they do everything that they're supposed to do in school. So this is a way of helping them get to where it is they're moving towards.
Yeah.
And it's okay to say, I'm not willing to talk with you when you're being harsh and disrespectful. That doesn't work for me. When you're ready to be kind, call me back.
Eva, thank you for calling in today to New Life Live. We'll be back with more of your calls, 1-800-229-3000.
We've been married 33 years. We attended the Intimacy and Marriage Workshop. Even though we've read books or attended a few other marriage weekends, this was certainly different and a lot more intensive than initially that we thought.
When you come to Intimacy and Marriage, you're going to be immersed into a 3-day process.
Was not really sure exactly what to expect, but the idea of learning to really understand intimacy was intriguing. We had been in the same patterns of struggle over and over again.
If you've thought, I don't think we can ever change, we're just in this rut and we can't get out, the Intimacy and Marriage Workshop can help you get out of the rut.
The Intimacy and Marriage Weekend is February 13th to the 15th in Orange County, California. Register online at newlife.com or call 1-800-NEW-LIFE and use the code NLL for a discount. 1-800-639-5433.
I would highly recommend it.
There's a place where real healing begins, where truth meets grace, and where transformation starts. New Life Recovery Groups offers a Christ-centered, supportive community for growth, healing, and restoration. Built on a proven 12-step foundation and grounded in biblical truth, these groups help bring clarity, accountability, and lasting hope for those who are ready for change. And when deeper personal guidance is needed, one-on-one coaching and counseling are available, walking with you every step of the way. Here, lives are renewed, stories are rewritten, and hope is restored. You're not alone. You're not judged. You're welcomed into a community that believes God is still at work in your story. Take the next step toward healing. Join a New Life Recovery Group today, online or in person. Visit newlife.com/groups or call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Find healing, find community, find new life. To find out more information about New Life or to order any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Now back to New Life Live.
Your financial gift helps provide counseling, workshops, radio programs, and digital resources that meet people where they are, helping them take their next step toward healing and hope. By giving today, you join us in standing beside those who need a hand to hold and a guide to show the way. You can give online at newlife.com, by calling 1-800-NEW-LIFE, or by texting NLM, as in New Life Ministries, to 28950. Thank you so much for whatever you can do. Your generosity changes lives. 1-800-229-3000, the number to call in and speak with Doctors Jacqui Mack-Harris and Alice Benton. And now we're going to talk to Anna in Los Angeles, who listens to us on KKLA. Welcome, Anna, to New Life Live.
Thank you so much for all you do. I've learned a lot from you. My favorite book is Safe People. I learned so much about that.
Yes.
So thank you. Mm-hmm. My question, because I know you want to, you don't have too much time, is I'm a Christian and I want to live a life that's as healthy as possible. And so my question is, my mom, when I was an adult, confessed or shared something with me that I was a product of SA. And ever since then, I didn't grow up with my dad. They never got married. And I never really had a close relationship with him. And he was kind of like, nonchalant about it too. It was more my grandmother wanting to get us close. So I never really had a close relationship with him. And when my mom revealed that to me, I completely lost any respect or care to even talk to him ever again. And I don't know if that's healthy. I want to make sure I'm not putting on any responsibilities that don't belong to me. And as a Christian, how should I approach that?
Wow.
What a high level of priority you put your faith on, that you would take such an awful, dark situation and wonder, am I right to pull back from this man? Oh, Anna, what unsettling news to receive from your mom. How did you handle that when you were first told?
I was shocked, and I asked her, why did you wait so long to tell me? Because I was 35 when she told me. She could have told me, I don't know, in my 20s, but it was only after my grandmother passed away that she felt comfortable sharing this with me.
Was it
She didn't say that.
Is it the grandmother that was her mother or your father's mother?
No. My mom's mom.
Your mom's mom, okay.
Yeah. I wasn't close to my father's family at all.
Okay.
And your bio dad has never made significant attempts to reconcile, to have relationship, to admit wrongdoing.
Well, he doesn't know that I know. And so I haven't confronted him. I didn't think it was my place. I don't know. That's why I'm calling.
And even so, he has not made attempts to be strong attempts to be in relationship with you.
No, well, he lives in a different country, and so no, he hasn't.
The question of if you are wrong to pull back, I think it's a great question, because you're trying to figure out, where is this coming from? Why am I doing this? But it doesn't sound like you had much of a relationship with him before you received this news.
Right.
But before you received the news, did you believe that you should be trying to have a relationship with him?
It wasn't in my heart, no.
And so it's no more in your heart now than it was then. And he's not pursued.
It was much. Right. It's much less. Yes.
It's much less. Well, it's almost like, oh, well, that door is closed. I don't have to worry about that anymore. But then there's the idea that somehow you're doing something wrong. Is it the honor your mother and father piece that you feel is the problem as a Christian?
Maybe. I don't know. I haven't really thought of it. It's more like, do I tell him that I know? Do I confront him? I mean, is there anything good that's going to come out of that? Will he deny it? I don't know.
Yeah, there's no way of knowing without asking him, and those are, fair expectations. I think the question is, do you want to confront him? Like, there's no need to if you don't want that conversation, but if you have a desire to know if he could own it and if he feels remorse, then you won't be able to get over that without maybe asking him. But then, like you said, will he deny it? Does he even see it the way that she sees it? And so those are questions that I would recommend you walk through with a therapist. I think having somebody, this is something that I think you do need to process with the therapist. It's a shock to learn, one, that your mom experienced SA, but also that you're the product of that. That's a lot to take in at 35. And I can see why she waited. She was protecting your grandmother, but you also have to work through your feelings about that your whole life you didn't know this part of her story and your story. We can help you find a therapist in your area that can help you. Go ahead.
Sorry. And my other question is, why did she tell me? I don't know. It's almost like I don't know, like I'm carrying this now. I don't know.
I think she told you because she's always wanted to tell you, but her mother didn't know.
Okay.
And so she couldn't tell you until her mother was gone. That's why I was asking, was it her mother or his mother? So I think it had something to do with your grandmother, or your grandmother told her that she didn't need to bring it up, and so she was honoring her mom. My guess is it's been weighing on her heavily, and her wanting you to know is needing you to understand how that relationship came to be. Like, she didn't choose him, but she did choose you.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I see what Anna's saying, though. It's like, she could have just gone on the rest, and I would have never had to deal with this. Had to know. We talk about family secrets sometimes, and Anna's probably thinking, why didn't you just keep this one a secret? I did not need to live with this.
She did give you a burden that now, as you're calling for this very reason, you have to decide what to do with it. It was laid in your lap. And I think the best way to figure out what to do is keep asking God, Lord, what do you want from me? Your faith is already the thing that's guiding you. And in a worldly way, it wouldn't make sense to contact this man. In a spiritual way, God may have very good reason if he ever does ask you to contact him. It may be calling a sinner up. This man has apparently not done anything about a rape that resulted in a child. He is in his brokenness, deep in his brokenness. God sometimes sends the victim on a rescue mission to the perpetrator. Now, it's up to the perpetrator how he takes it and how he responds. But confronting your dad might also be part of your own healing process. But it only works if you're completely braced that it won't go well at all given his reaction. Meaning the purpose of bringing this up to him might be for Anna's sake, for my sake, I need to confront this. I need to speak truth to my dad, and I need to tell him that I know. That could be very healing and therapeutic, but you're probably not going to get a good response because the character of this man shows him to be an avoider. So he's probably going to deny it. Why would he admit it? So keep asking God, what do you want from me? He'll guide you in that direction. But like Jacqui's saying, a counselor helps us discern God's will, and it helps us tease out what are the obstacles within me, that am I hearing God the right way? But the last part, Anna, is that as your mom gave you this burden and your dad gave it to her, your job is to keep cleaning your heart out of the justified bitterness and resentment that this was how your life began. And that's tough work to do, but good therapeutic work can help you get to the point of someday being able to forgive what's totally unforgivable. This should never have happened to you.
Yeah. And Anna, I wonder about your relationships, romantic relationships. Have things gone well over your life?
Oh, no. I mean, growing up without a dad, that, it puts holes in your heart. And I didn't get to know God until later because of such a painful, traumatic time that I went through life is how I came to know God. So, no, now that I'm, after getting to know God and much counseling after, that dark time, I found God. And so, it's never good when you don't grow up with your father.
And I was curious because sometimes, without even knowing the historical data, without knowing your mom's story, sometimes historical trauma plays out in our lives. It's passed down. And I'm not even sure how mom would have passed it down without telling you the story. However, I had an incident, my daughter was sharing with me an incident she had with her daughter, my granddaughter, in which her granddaughter shared something that we often say and think, and we've never shared it with her. She's only 8. And so we were both like, wow, okay. So we teach and talk often about generational transmission of trauma. This is an opportunity for you to get well in this generation, and so it doesn't continue to be passed down to future generations.
Yes.
Thank you for doing the work.
Yeah. Do you think the Healing as a Choice book would be a good something
pick
for
that up.
Anna to pick up from the newlife.com store? We've also got a Healing as a Choice 12-week course that I mentioned a little bit earlier, but that begins at the end of this month, January 29th. You can find out all about it at newlife.com. It's a 12-week online course, 1 hour a week. And I think it'll really put you on the path to healing, and so will the book Healing as a Choice from the newlife.com store. We're going to take a quick break, and then we'll be back with more of your questions. Randy, you'll be up next, and everyone else on hold, don't hang up, because we're going to be in the studio for another hour after this, and we want to talk to you. My name is Brian Perez, here with doctors Jacqui Mack-Harris and Alice Benton. 1-800-229-3000 is the number to call, so call.
My husband addicted to pornography for the majority of our marriage. I was very isolated and didn't really know which way to turn.
If you've been affected by betrayal, an emotional or physical affair, or pornography, the Restore Intensive will equip you with support and tools to help you through.
I went to the Restore conference, which seemed to be the missing puzzle piece where I was able to find my voice.
When two people want to do their part, we can be restored. But if they don't, we are not stuck because someone else made a decision. God lets us weigh in on how we want to walk out our lives.
The Restore Intensive is coming to Dallas, Texas, March 6th to the 8th. Register online at newlife.com or call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Enter the code NLL for a discount.
I'm navigating my world now. It feels so wonderful.
I've had a great experience at Restore.
1-800-NEW-LIFE and the discount code NLL. For over 35 years, New Life has been the most trusted name in Christian counseling.
Your ministry has saved my life.
If you struggle with emotional hurt, family or marriage problems, the pit of depression, or the pain of addiction, we can help.
I'm down 100 pounds now from what I was.
I found a counselor through New Life Ministries, and it's just been outstanding.
Our treatment programs provide clinically appropriate solutions from licensed professionals, all in a biblical framework.
I have had problems with alcohol. I think God has ordained this place to be His
his.
You don't have to be a prisoner of your pain. Help is available at 1-800-NEW-LIFE.
She tells me that I'm a new man, and I feel like a new man.
It worked for me, and it can work for them too.
This time it is different.
If you're ready to take the first steps toward genuine spiritual and emotional healing, call us today at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. God can open the door for a better tomorrow.
To get someone that's competent, that's good at what they do, it's been like day and night compared to what I've had before.
Call 1-800-639-5433. To find out more information about New Life or to order any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Now back to New Life Live.
It is not too late to sign up for Dr. Jacqui Mack-Harris's online webinar. It is happening tomorrow at 7 p.m. Central Time. It's called Breaking Free from Depression, Tools to Reclaim Your Life. If you've been feeling overwhelmed, exhausted, or stuck in a low place, you are not alone. You never are. And help is available. You can text the word webinar to 28950 and you'll get a registration link and a tip sheet on depression. But Jacqui, looking forward to hearing you speak tomorrow night.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to having everyone there and getting to share some tips on what depression is and how we can maneuver through it.
Yeah. And if you've already got plans for tomorrow night, register anyway, because if you can't join us tomorrow, we'll send you a link where you can watch sometime in the next 7 days or so. But again, text the word webinar to 28950. You don't have to go anywhere. We're coming to you. In fact, I think Alice is going to be making albondigas, and she'll be bringing them too. And I'll do the dishes afterwards. It'll be fun. Okay, so let's talk to Randy, who's in Waco, Texas, listening on Sirius XM, channel 131. Welcome, Randy, to New Life Live.
Hey, I need some help. I have a 8-year-old granddaughter that is having anxiety so bad that they've had to put her on medicine. And the story is, she was over at her dad's Monday, and their way of watching him and his girlfriend, is give her an iPad, let her watch it. Well, she got to watching something, people saying there wasn't no God, there wasn't no heaven, and everybody's going to hell. She gets home and starts talking to her mother about it and just freaks out because she says she don't want to go to hell because she hit her mother. And I don't.
This is so hard. Yeah.
What do I do? How can I at least talk to her mother to help her?
You said that they put her on medication. Is she seeing a therapist?
Well, she was, and apparently he wasn't helping her, so they're trying to find another one.
Maybe we can help you find a therapist in that area for her.
Okay.
And in the meantime, Randy, both you and your daughter can invite her into a comfort circle. And that is just that structured format of drawing out her fear. Hey, sweetheart, we know that you're afraid, that everybody's going to hell. We think that we heard you say that you hit your mom, and so you're worried you're going to hell too. Tell us about that. We want to hear from you. We adults might be really quick to just try to correct this and shut it down. Like, come on, we know better than that. That's not true. But your granddaughter needs to be drawn out, heard, and understood. Ideally, her mom will do that for her. But if her mom is unable or unwilling, you sound like the kind of grandpa that can stand in the gap and be the one to be an encouraging, comforting listener to her. And that will help quell her fears over time.
And that's really what therapy is about. It's about coming alongside of someone and being a safe place for them to process their fears, their thoughts, their actions, the changes they might want to make. And so it's not about telling her anything or having her do anything. It's just really you being able to draw her out and hear her story and validate, yeah, that, you know, that's really hard, or, oh, that sounds so scary. Tell me what feelings come up for you. And the Comfort Circle, you can find it online. You can also get the book, How We Love Our Kids, and that can help you walk through this and just give her a place where she can break down what's going on inside. And people don't realize how often the anxiety is in not being able to talk about it. And when we share it with someone, they tell us, oh, you're fine, that's no big deal. And so you're still left just holding this. And when you can talk it out and talk about what it feels like and what it makes you think and what happens because of those feelings and which was different, it makes a difference.
Yeah.
Bringing her to a meeting with a pastor and any of her parents that are willing to be involved might also help, that an authority figure could answer some of her questions, especially if there's a pastor you trust or that she trusts. And this might sound outlandish, but a good therapist would be willing to try to get a family therapy session, even with the divorced parents, and if they're dating, it sounds like, and the other people that have become involved, for the sake of the daughter, that might soften their hearts and be willing to come into a session together.
Randy, thanks for calling us today here on New Life Live. Let's go to Michelle in Colorado, listening on KJLT. What is your question for Doctors Alice Benton and Jacqui Mack-Harris?
Well, I kind of have a little story, and maybe they can help me at the end. At 8, I started drugs. I was a drug addict for 51 years, straight, every day. Almost died July 30th of 2024. They said I wouldn't make it through the night. On the 7th of August, I got saved. And once I walked away, that was it. Ooh. I live in a small town where there's drugs everywhere. I don't desire them. I read my Bible every day. I read 3 devotionals every day. I live in a house that's 150 years old. Hadn't been painted since 1957. I've redone the whole inside. And I think, well, there's a question, and then I wanted to tell everybody there is a way out, and his name is God. Because I couldn't get out. I could not get out of the drug.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not, at 8, I lived on the streets.
Ooh,
wow.
Michelle.
So what is your question for us, Michelle?
Well, okay, so I'm 60 now, and I'm scared to death of men.
Okay.
You know, I mean, I go to church, there's a nice man here, and the more that he tries to get close to me, the more I walk away. I don't know if it's because I feel like, you know, I read the Bible so much that I know that, you know, you don't touch, you don't do things without getting married. I'm not sure if I want to go that far. I live alone with no family but a dog.
And Michelle, are you wondering if you should open up to dating, or if maybe you want therapeutic help before you decide about dating? We're coming to the end, so we need a quick question from you.
I really don't know what I need, to tell you the truth. I just know that I'm afraid of any kind of relationship.
Well, then I'm going to give you a suggestion, because you have been miraculously saved from a lifetime of substance use. And I think you know that the sanctification work, it doesn't stop there, because all that you were missing living on the street as an 8-year-old, all that you missed out in family of origin, affects how well you're able to attach to people and relate to them. But that can be rebuilt. And both individual therapy and group therapy with other women are probably exactly what you need to help get clarity about, do I want a divorce? And do I want, to date? And how do I become a person that's ready to date?
Jacqui?
I agree. I think getting into a good life recovery group and working with a counselor to help you work through your trauma. You have a life of trauma and addiction, and there is something that happens when you get clean and sober, especially when it's a supernatural deliverance and God has saved you. You really did surrender. But now the fear is starting to get in the way of you living. And so working with a good Christian counselor can help you to talk about that fear, process, bring it out. Let's look at it, figure out what's true of it. And then having a support system of women who can maybe challenge you about whether or not this is the right guy, or who can, double date with you, and so that you're not alone, or group date. You know?
Double dating, that's something we don't talk about often.
Let's bring that
we
back.
need to bring
Yes.
that back as triple dating, all
Yes.
of it. All right, Michelle, God bless you. Thanks for calling in today. We've got another hour to go. 1-800-229-3000.
Thanks for listening. We hope this program has helped you by giving you insights for handling the challenges you face in your life. We want you to know that we're here for you, but you also need to know that New Life Live is a listener-supported ministry. To make your donation or to get any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433 or online at newlife.com. Please join us again tomorrow for New Life Live.